भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ग्रंथ श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining online and in person. Thank you, Vishal Prabhu, Rahul Prabhu, Adinath Krishna Prabhu. We are continuing our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, Text 29. 1:18:29. Please repeat after me. अभूतपूर्व सहसा
अभूतपूर्व सहसा
श्रुत्रिभ्याम् अर्दितात्मनः
क्षुत्रिभ्याम् अर्दितात्मनः
ब्राह्मणं प्रत्यबुद्ब्रह्मन् मत्सरो मन्युरेव च अभूतपूर्व सहसा श्रुत्रिभ्यामर्दितात्मनः ब्राह्मणं प्रत्यबुद्ब्रह्मन् मत्सरो मन्युरेव च अभूतपूर्व सहसा श्रुत्रिभ्यामर्दितात्मनः ब्राह्मणं प्रत्यबुद्ब्रह्मन् मत्सरो मन्युरेव च
अभूतपूर्व सहसा
श्रुत्रिभ्यामर्दितात्मनः ब्राह्मणं प्रत्यबुद्ब्रह्मन् मत्सरो मन्युरेव च. Word for word translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Abhutpurvah unprecedented. Sahasa circumstantially. Shut hunger. Tridbhyam as well as by thirst. Ardita being distressed. Atmanaha of his self. Brahmanam unto a Brahmana. Prati against. Abhut became. Brahman O Brahmanas. Matsaraha envious. Manyu angry. Eva thus. Cha and. Translation: O Brahmanas, the king's anger and envy directed toward the Brahmana sage were unprecedented, being that circumstances had made him hungry and thirsty. Purport: for a king like Maharaj Parikshit to become angry and envious, especially at a sage and Brahman, was undoubtedly unprecedented. The king knew well that Brahmanas, sages, children, women, and old men are always beyond the jurisdiction of punishment. Similarly, the king, even though he commits a great mistake, is never to be considered a wrongdoer. But in this case, Maharaj Parikshit became angry and envious at the sage due to his thirst and hunger by the will of the Lord. The king was right to punish his subject for coldly receiving him or neglecting him, but because the culprit was a sage and a Brahmana, it was unprecedented. As the Lord is never envious of anyone, So also the Lord's devotee is never envious of anyone. The only justification for Maharaj Parikshit's behavior is that it was ordained by the Lord. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Leshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you for your association. So we had a very nice festival last night, Govardhan Puja, and we had a very nice class by His Grace Srivas Pandit Prabhu on significance of Govardhan Leela. So Prabhu explained how Indra became proud um, of his position, being the head of the demigods. He was worshipped by the inhabitants of Vraja with the lots of foodstuff, food grains, and paraphernalia with Vedic hymns. So he was receiving lot of honor from these inhabitants of Vraj. So he was proud of this honor, and he was assuming that he is the maintainer of these Vrajvasis. He was giving them rain. That's why they were able to have food grains. And from the food grains, they were able to sustain their cattle, cows, their own lives. So he was thinking himself to be the cause of their sustenance or maintenance. And that made him proud. And Lord Krishna, he never likes pride in his devotees. So he very kindly relieves his devotees of pride. So Prabhupada uses this word puffed up, you know. So just like when we have puffed up rice, there is actually not much substance in them. They are puffed up. They are just there's a lot of air inside. So they are called puffed up rice. So similarly, if a person is puffed up, there is no substance. There is no reason for him being proud, but he feels himself the doer. Um, there is a verse in Bhagavad Gita which says, Kartaham iti manyate. How does that verse begin? Aham Muratma. Kartaham iti manyate. So in Bhagavad Gita it says that all the activities are being done by the three modes of nature. Prakrite kriyamanani. Thank you very much, Vishal Prabhu. Prakrite kriyamanani guna karmani sarvasha. That everything is happening because of Prakriti, because of the nature. Guna karmani sarvasha, the three modes, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Ahankar vimoda atma, a person who is thinking himself the doer. Kartaham iti manyate, that he himself thinks as himself the doer. And who is the controller of Prakriti? Krishna is the controller. Maya adhyakshena Prakriti suete sa characharam. Krishna says, because of my direction, the Prakriti is acting, and all the moving and non-moving beings are coming into existence and again becoming unmanifest. So, as we heard from His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj, Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj yesterday, Indra had this mood of Ishamanina. I am the Isha, I am the Lord. So he became indignant when um, Anand Maharaj decided that they will offer that sacrifice to Govardhan instead of Indra. So he sent incessant rain on the Brajvasis to kill them, to banish Brajvasis and Krishna. So somebody might think that Krishna is envious of Indra's position. Why Indra is being worshipped? I should be worshipped. So Krishna lifted Govardhan hill and relieved Indra of his pride. But Krishna is not envious of anybody, as Prabhupada says in the purport, today's purport. As the Lord is never envious of anyone, so also the Lord's devotee is never envious of anyone. Krishna loves his devotees, so he doesn't like them to be proud. So he relieves them of their pride. In that way, one can be situated in pure devotional service to Krishna. One can be situated in one's constitutional position as servant of Krishna. So here in today's words, we are saying that Maharaj Parikshit also is not envious of the sage, but this situation was ordained by the Lord. Just like the Lord never comes under the six tribulations: hunger, thirst, birth, death, illusion, lamentation. These are the six tribulations that every conditioned living entity has to go through. But Lord never comes under these six. Similarly, a Lord's devotee is above these six tribulations. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Shaknoti haiva yasodum prak sharir vimokshanat kam krododbhavam vekam sa yukta sa sukhinara. If one can rise above the forces of anger and desire before quitting one's body, such a person is a happy human in this world. We definitely know that Maharaj Parikshit was above these six tribulations because of his being a pure devotee of the Lord. He would play with the deities of Krishna even while he was growing up. We heard in the previous chapters birth and activities of Maharaj Parikshit. He was ruling the entire world as a righteous ruler, following the footsteps of his predecessors, the Pandavas. As we read in the previous chapters, he was going around and making sure that everywhere the people were acting according to the Varnashram Dharma. And when he saw that a person dressed like a king was beating the bull and the cow, so he was ready to punish this person who was dressed as a king, but he was the Kali personified. So he gave, because Kali begged for forgiveness and Kali begged for shelter of Parikshit Maharaj, he even gave shelter to Kali in the four places where the four regulative principles are broken. And also he gave a place to live in the gold. Even after that, Kali was not able to infiltrate Maharaj Parikshit's kingdom because of his strong administration. Even though he was able to stay in the gold, still Kali was not able to infiltrate. And we read in previous chapters, Parikshit Maharaj or Shukdev, Sud Goswami is saying, as long as Maharaj Parikshit is ruling, there is no chance for Kali to enter. And Maharaj Parikshit was a sargrahi, essence seeker. He knew that people in Kali Yuga who understand the importance and significance of Kali Yuga, they don't have any reason to be afraid of Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, any sinful activity bears reaction when it is performed. But if it is performed mentally, there is no reaction. However, pious activity, when done in mind, it bears fruits. So Parikshit Maharaj was clearly aware of all this, so he was not afraid of Kali. He was not even envious of Kali. He gave shelter to Kali. How can he be envious of a sage? But we are seeing in this verse that it is out of the circumstances that he showed himself to be under the hunger and thirst. Although he is above these Vegas, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Jiva Vegam, Udaropasth Vegam, as Srila Rupa Goswami says in the first verse of Nectar of Instruction, if one can rise above these six Vegas, which is speech, Vacho Vegam, Manasa of the mind, Krodha, anger, Vacho Vegam, Jiva, um, and the anger and the stomach, belly and genitals. So hunger um, and jiva, the taste, and also the genitals. If one can rise above these six urges, one can make disciples all over the world. So Parikshit Maharaj was definitely above these six urges. However, here, because Srimad Bhagavatam was to be spoken, that's why he acted in such a manner. So there is a beautiful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 1, Text 35, where Shukdev Goswami is explaining about the qualities of Maharaj Priyavrat. Maharaj Priyavrat was a great devotee of the Lord. He wanted to stay as a brahmachari, but because he was requested by Swayambhu Manu and Lord Brahma himself, he became the emperor of the whole world. And he, with his chariot, he actually made oceans. He actually made. Uh, he went on the Earth planet and he made places where oceans can reside, and he actually cultivated the land accordingly, so that um, there could be oceans and there could be proper rain. Also, he was able to run his chariot along with sun with the same speed, so that there is no intense winter for the people who are living on the earthly planet. So he's glorifying Maharaj Priyavrit's activities. In that context, there's a verse 5:135 where it is explained how a pure devotee is above hunger and thirst. So I was thinking we can read that 5:135. My dear king, a devotee who has taken shelter of the dust from the lotus feet of the Lord can transcend the influence of the six material whips, namely hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion, old age, and death, and he can conquer the mind and five senses. However, this is not very wonderful for a pure devotee of the Lord, because even a person beyond the jurisdiction of the four castes, in other words, an untouchable, is immediately relieved of bondage to material existence if he utters the holy name of the Lord even once. We see in our festivals many times new people come and they enjoy the festival and they forget their hunger and thirst. Yesterday there was a nice person, his name was Miguel. Somebody in Caltrain told him, invited him to the festival. Maybe it is Tim Prabhu or Vishal Prabhu, somebody who is traveling in Caltrain. He said that devotee was wearing tilak, and Miguel, he said he's on a spiritual journey. So he came to the temple, he attended the class, he enjoyed the festival, he honored Prasadam. Even newcomers who come to the temple, they can rise above these six whips of hunger, thirst, lamentation, illusion. What to speak of devotees who have been practicing throughout their life? And We understand in 10th canto when Parikshit Maharaj is actually listening to Shukdeva Goswami. He has already heard 9 cantos. Now there is the beginning of 10th canto. 4 or 5 days have been passed. He has been fasting from food and water, but he is still going strong. And he says to Shukdeva Goswami, Naishati dushahashun mam tyaktodam abhibadate pibantam twan mukhambojam chiutam hari kathamritam. So, recite the translation for this. This is 10:113. Because of my vow on the verge of death, I have given up even drinking water. Yet, because I am drinking the nectar of topics about Krishna, which is flowing from the lotus mouth of your Lordship, my hunger and thirst, which are extremely difficult to bear, cannot hinder me. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. To prepare to meet death in 7 days, Maharaj Parikshit gave up all food and drink. As a human being, he was certainly both hungry and thirsty, and therefore Shukdev Goswami might have wanted to stop narrating the transcendental topics of Krishna. But despite his fast, Maharaj Parikshit was not at all fatigued. Quote, the hunger and thirst from my fast do not disturb me, he said. Once, when I felt very thirsty, I went to the ashram of Shamik Muni to drink water, but the Muni did not supply it. I therefore wrapped a dead snake over his shoulder, and that is why I was cursed by the Brahmana boy. Now, however, I am quite fit. I am not at all disturbed by my hunger and thirst. Unquote. This indicates that although on the material platform there are disturbances from hunger and thirst, on the spiritual platform there is no such thing as fatigue. So, the more one is immersed in the topics of Krishna, the more one gets free from this hunger and thirst. Many devotees on Janmashtami they fast full day from drinking, eating anything, and because they are immersed in serving Krishna, they forget this hunger and thirst, even though their body otherwise might not allow it. I remember when I was climbing the stairs of Tirupati Balaji, I was seeing many elderly women. They were going barefoot and they were also climbing the stairs along with me. And I was amazed how can such elderly people climb stairs? Some of them were doing on their knees. This is humanly not possible unless one is deriving spiritual energy from Krishna. So there has to be a soul behind this body who is making this body act beyond its capacity. Otherwise, the body cannot sustain. If we scientifically try to understand, the body needs certain hydration and food to act properly. But only if a person is receiving mercy of Krishna, then one can perform superhuman acts. So in this verse it is said, Abhutpurva means it was unprecedented. Parikshit Maharaj was so strong in administrating the law, and he knew that he should never punish Brahmanas, children, women, and old men. But here he is punishing, he is becoming envious and angry at a sage. This is it is unheard of for a king, for a Raj Rishi like Parikshit Maharaj. Actually, a devotee of the Lord is known as Vimanyava, Titikshava Karunika, Suhrida Sarvadehinam, Ajata Shatrava Shanta, Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. So these are the qualities of the devotee of the Lord. He is very tolerant, Titikshava, Karunika, he is very compassionate to others. Suhrida, he's a well wisher of everyone. Suhrida Sarvadehina, all the people who are embodied, not only humans, but any living beings who are embodied, who have taken birth. Asa Ajat Shatrava, his enemy is never born. Ajata Shatrava Shanta, and he's very peaceful. So, uh, Sadhava Sadhu Bhushana. So these are the ornaments of a pure devotee. So the Maharaj Parikshit has all these ornaments, but he's apparently becoming hungry and thirsty so that this pastime could manifest. That's why Prabhupada is saying the only justification for Maharaj Parikshit behavior is that it was ordained by the Lord. Just like in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna ordained Arjuna to become bewildered, and Arjuna could not fight. He was almost crying, and his bow, Gandiva, was slipping from his hand, even though he was the greatest devotee of the Lord. He came under bewilderment that he could not fight against his relatives, so that the Bhagavad Gita could be spoken to all of us. Similarly, Krishna arranged this situation of Parikshit Maharaj to come under the hunger and thirst and act unprecedentedly by putting a dead snake on the neck of Shamik Rishi. So, this is how we can understand the behavior of great personalities. We should not judge them on their external behavior. Anybody who is acting for the satisfaction of Guru and Krishna, his behavior cannot be explained materially by material calculations. Vaishnavera Kriya Mudra Vigne na Bhujaya. It is said Vaishnav's Kriya activities and Mudra, his gestures or his activities or glances, Vigne na Bhujaya. Even if one tries to understand, one cannot understand because he is acting under the order of Guru and Krishna. We heard this in the pastime of Bhishma Dev when he's trying to when he's leaving the world and he's trying to pacify Yudhishthir Maharaj. Yudhishthir Maharaj um, is not able to. What is the word? He is despondent after so many people were killed for him to become the king of the entire world. So even Krishna tried to pacify him; he could not be pacified. Yudhishthir could not be pacified. So Krishna took Yudhishthir along with the Pandavas to Bhishma Dev. And Bhishma Dev there says a very beautiful verse that even though you were protected by Dharma himself and you are along with Krishna, still you have to go through so much suffering. So Bhishma Dev says that um, even though great sages inquire exhaustively, they cannot understand the plan of the Lord. So this is the desire of the Lord that this war was to happen. So we cannot put blame on one person that this devotee did is the cause of killing of 640 million people. So it was desired by Krishna so that Bhagavad Gita could be spoken, so that he could kill all the unrighteous people on the planet. He came to relieve the earthly planet of its burden of so many military forces. Similarly, today's world we see so many wars are happening. So this is ordained by Krishna. When so much demoniac forces increase in the world, they fight with each other and they perish like that. And the devotees of the Lord understand that this is the cycle of material world. So better get out of this cycle. Anityam asukham lokam imam prapya bhajasuvam. Krishna says in chapter 9 that what to speak of that Krishna gives shelter to everybody, even people who are low born, who are not born in a good family. The verse is Imam Prapya Vijasumam. This is chapter 9, where he says that Stri Shudra Brahma Bandhuna. No. So he's saying that he gives shelter to all of the people who are not so much advanced in spiritual knowledge. So what to speak of Brahmanas or people who are twice born? After achieving this anityam, temporary world, asukham, where there is no happiness, imam prapya bhajasvama, one should always remember Krishna. So by remembering Krishna, we can act as per his desire. Krishna will act through us. So that's why we are recommended to chant every day following the four regulative principles. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. I'm open for any corrections, questions, and reflections, and friendly challenges. Hare Krishna. We have few minutes. Anybody would like to share online? We have Sachi, Dulal Prabhu, Piyush Prabhu, Adinath Krishna Prabhu, and Vishal Prabhu. Vishal Prabhu is present online and in person both.
Hare Krishna, Kautukarnav Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Tim Prabhu, thank you for joining. Sorry I didn't
Oh,
see.
thank you for the class. I just wanted to say welcome back to ISKCON Silicon Valley. Missed you. And unfortunately, I did not send Miguel to
Okay.
Govardhan Puja last night, but I do see a lot of people on the train and sometimes offer books. But yeah, I just one quick reflection, at least for me, I can speak for me, it's just you have to work so hard to get the things that Krishna is already providing naturally to the animals.
Mm.
I mean, even the other day, you're familiar with Windermere, used to live here. There's a lot of squirrels. And there
Yes.
was a squirrel I saw. He had an apple in his mouth that was much bigger than him, and he was just filled with bliss. And I was giggling because I was like, "Oh, all he had to do was walk outside and get his food, and it's done." Me, I have to ride my bike to the train, ride my bike to work all day just to get the same kind of apple. So it was just reminding me, like you said, everything is ordained by the Lord. Everything's already, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. It's given to us. But we concoct and construct so many different social systems that make us have to work so hard for the things that are already given. So anyways, that's what I wanted to say. Welcome back. And thank you for all the devotees that are assembled today. It's nice to be in your association. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Tim Prabhu. Yeah, of course, one has to do one's duty, just like the squirrel is doing his duty, coming out and looking for apple. Similarly, we are going on Caltrain or in our car, looking for our food. But as long as we are remembering Krishna, we are performing our dharma. So Krishna will take care of our food. Of course, we do our duty diligently. We don't stay idle. So there's a very nice verse on this by Narad Muni in Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 18. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, down to the lowest planet, Patal. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. So one should perform one's duty. Um, one should not be idle. So one should be performing one's duty. So Krishna will take care of our maintenance. Just like miseries come of their own accord, we will get happiness also. And if we are engaging in Krishna's service, we will get more than what we deserve, always. Hare Krishna. We will take one more reflection of question.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Dhanyavad Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam Piyush Prabhu.
It was a sweet Katha, Prabhu. Thank you for reminding everything. This thing which stayed the first at the beginning, you mentioned that coming in contact purifies. And that's so true. Like, even if for me, I can speak, like, things that were going on in the mind, just entering that space and hearing from the lips of a devotee, like Shivash Prabhu's lecture and then the kirtan, and purifying with the sangha, meeting the devotees, it purifies. Yeah, Prabhu. Thank you very much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. There's a very nice verse about this that um, the water of Ganges purifies one after a long time of use, but the association of devotee purifies immediately. And let me find that verse. Prolonged. This is 1:15. The sages, first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. There, Sut Goswami is being requested by Shaunakadi rishis to speak Krishna Katha. O Suta, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the waters of the Ganges can sanctify only after prolonged use. So Prabhupada's purport, pure devotees of the Lord are more powerful than the waters of the sacred river Ganges. One can derive spiritual benefit out of prolonged use of the Ganges waters, but one can be sanctified at once by the mercy of a pure devotee of the Lord. In Bhagavad Gita, it is said that any person, regardless of birth, as Shudra, woman, or merchant, can take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, and by so doing, can return to Godhead. Okay.
Thank you for sharing it, Prabhu. And just lastly, Prabhu, just listening to devotees like you also purifies it. So has beautiful potential. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. It is all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Granth Raj